I'm Jordyn Senkivik, and for my project, I put on a heifer showmanship clinic for students within my county that were new or unexperienced to showing cattle and that were planning on going to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo for the first time, and that didn't really know what to expect whenever they would get there. And so for this project, we started at Houston over spring break, and we worked on different objectives such as feeding, washing and blow drying, exercising and setting up your animal, and just working on all these different criteria needed to properly show heifers and cattle in general. And so the biggest thing was for me to help out these younger students fully understand why we do everything and how to be successful in the show world. It was a big challenge for me working with younger students just because it's been such a long time since I've been in their shoes, and just working with younger students in general and having to properly learn how to word things for them to understand because of their inexperience showing cattle or just their age in general of not understanding some of the things I may say. But it was definitely one of those things that I was able to overcome and work towards, and they definitely helped me understand and realize how younger children work, and it was a great experience with that. I was able to learn my core values, or at least a few of them I was able to work on and push towards, such as loyalty to family and friends, which these were family and friends that I had grown up with, and so it was one of those things where I had promised to take on this responsibility and to continue to work as much as I could to help them fully understand what to expect, from years to come, and to help their families to understand, what they need to do in order to successfully show cattle. And, since I won't always be there and I won't always be at the shows with them, that they are going to be able to manage and successfully make it through a stock show on their own. And for me, I was able to achieve in a sense that I was able to get these students to fully understand why we do everything, and they didn't necessarily win their classes, but in the end they came out knowing that they learned something and that they're more knowledgeable about this subject, and that was my biggest goal for my project. Emotions do get in the way from time to time, but I was able to work through that and work on not being frustrated with them if they didn't understand what I was saying, or if they're not used to necessarily always being out working, because we were raised completely different, and so I had to sometimes adjust the ways that I'm used to teaching or even learning, and to what helped them out the most. And that was a challenge at first, but I was able to overcome that, and by having the personality type of thinking, I was able to think about my actions before I said them, or even how I was going to explain the situation or this objective to the student. Thankfully, I was able to watch them at our county show, and then so I was able to help them adjust to what they needed to work on by the time we were able to get to Houston. And so I feel like that was a huge accomplishment for us. Being a type of person that is restorative and a relator, I was able to encourage these students on what they were doing great and what they needed to work on, but really show them that they are doing a great job and that they are working super hard, and that maybe just not because they're going to win right now doesn't mean that they won't later on in life, and that they have time to figure everything out, and that this is all a learning experience, and everything you do is an experience that's going to help you on later in life. And I was able to relate to these students because I was in their shoes not that long ago, and so even though they may not have thought that at the time, but I was able to make them realize that I know what it's like to be scared and afraid that you're not doing the right thing, or your animal's going to go in the show ring and be crazy, and it is embarrassing. But I was able to model the way for these students and to help them succeed and achieve their goals in life, and especially with showing cattle, because it's important to have a goal and to stick to it and to continue that way and continue the pathway that you want to take and not somebody else's.